The new trip report takes a look at the 64-year-old interstate highway system and finds that the system is the backbone of the nation's transportation system, carrying approximately a quarter of all travel and approximately half of large truck travel. We've seen during the response to the COVID-19 pandemic just how critical the nation's supply chain can be to the functioning of the nation. The trip report finds that the interstate highway system continues to save lives, is increasingly congested with traffic, and we're seeing that its major portions of pavements, bridges, and major interchanges have reached an age where they're going to require significant reconstruction. The finding of the trip report confirms a 2019 report requested by Congress, which found that the interstate highway system has a persistent and growing backlog of both physical and operational deficiencies as a result of age, heavy use, and deferred investment.
Congestion on the interstate highways has increased dramatically as the amount of travel on the interstates far outpaces the amount of capacity that's been added. In fact, since 2000, the amount of overall vehicle travel on the interstate system has increased by 25% and large truck travel has increased by 45%. But during that same time, the amount of lane miles added to the interstate highways has increased by only 9%. As a result, more than half of all interstate lane miles experience significant congestion. That means that drivers and deliveries are taking longer than ever to get to their destinations. As a result of increased use and a lack of funding, the condition of interstate bridges and roads is beginning to deteriorate. 1 in 10 miles of interstate pavements are in either poor or mediocre condition, and 1 in 4 interstate bridges is in need of repair. Most bridges, particularly older bridges, were built with an intended design life of about 50 years. On the interstate highway system, more than half of interstate bridges are 50 years or older. These bridges are reaching an age where they'll need significant repairs or even replacement in some cases. Because of the additional safety features on interstate roads, they have a traffic fatality rate that's less than half that on all other roads. In fact, TRIP estimates that because of these safety features, about 6,000 lives were saved just in the last year alone.
Based on the findings of the congressionally requested interstate report, TRIP recommends that the restoration of the interstate system will require the reconstruction of major portions of pavements, bridges, and major interchanges, further improvements to safety designs of the interstate system, and the right sizing of the interstate system, including adding additional capacity along some portions, adding some additional routes, upgrading some highways to interstate standard, and in some places, go ahead and making modifications to urban portions of the interstate system. Addressing the nation's interstate restoration needs will require more than doubling the current $23 billion investment being made annually in the interstate system. Improving the interstate system will also require that Congress put in place a long-term, reliably funded federal surface transportation program. The current program expires at the end of September. It's also very critical that the new program provide adequate flexibility to state and local governments so that they can make the investments that are the best suited for their transportation needs. Improving the nation's interstate system will also require that Congress address the approximately $50 billion shortfall anticipated in state highway revenues as a result of reduced driving in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.